What's going on, everybody? We are here in Wisconsin. It is very cold. As you guys can see, I'm bundled up. Dawson's bundled up, and we're going to be doing some late season hunting tonight. It's cold, and the deer are. We've been watching this piece of ground that we have permission on. We got permission a couple of years back, and usually pretty good during the rut, and then it fires back up kind of later in the season. Especially when it gets cold like it is now. We got this field up front. Last week and a half, we've been seeing a pretty good 8-pointer that we've had a couple encounters with. The kids had a couple encounters with, and actually Dad shot him during November. Middle of November, Dad got an arrow in his shoulder, and he lived through it. And he disappeared for about a month, but then he showed back up. Like I said, cold weather, and probably the only green field within a couple miles. He had to come back here eventually. Observing this spot for probably a week and a half, just coming out and watching it. Finally got a decent deer and one that we want to put an arrow in. So we're gonna go back in here. The only problem is there's good trees to get in, but there's no cover, especially late season. You guys know all the foliage down. It's gonna be really tough to stay hidden. But I got my 3 set of sticks. Dawson's gonna bring his 3 set of sticks, and we're gonna get 6 sticks high in the tree. Hopefully we don't get busted. That's the plan, because the buck that we're trying to kill in here is not usually the first one out in the field. He usually comes out right before dark. So we'll see. We're gonna slip down this edge of this field, get up in the tree, get real high up in the tree, higher than probably I've ever sat, but it's the only way that we can think of not to get busted. So that's gonna be the plan. Well, we're set up in the tree. This is definitely the highest either one of us have ever gotten up in a tree. But even this high up, definitely a chance that we get picked, just because it's so open. There's no cover. No matter how high you go, there's no cover. So we usually only use 3 sticks apiece, and then platform. And we don't push those 3 sticks. So we only usually get about, 13, 14 feet at the max. So this is definitely high for us. But there's a cut bean field to our right. There's kind of this trail that comes out of there. Looks like that's the main track that they're using. There's tracks all over it coming out of there. So just across that bean field is the bedding area. It's just thick swamp bedding, and usually early season they'll bed back in there year round. But when it gets cold like this, they have to get up they want to get up and move. I don't know if I'd say they have to get up, but they want to get up and get to the food. So they get up and start moving earlier. Hopefully we see this 8-point tonight. There's a couple other bucks in here that are smaller. We're gonna sit here. We got a south wind, cold south wind, which is pretty unusual for this time of year, but right in our face, blowing back into this tree row. We're gonna sit here. Hopefully shoot a deer. Feels like if a buck comes in, he's gonna get it. I know we have trails
Well, Wyatt and I just got out here. The snow is just starting to come down. Right off the first 50-60 yards, there's a blood trail that you can practically run on. It started to slow down a little bit, but we can still walk pretty easily right here. Just dropping every, it's not like he's spraying out, but he's definitely bleeding a little bit. 12 hours, 13 hours. Hate leaving him overnight, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I think I hit him low and back. That's what the video shows, very low though. Had it been further forward though, I'd have heart shot him, so we'll see. I think it was good enough, especially leaving it overnight, cold as it is. I rolled out of bed and I seen the snow and I seen the wind blowing, and I'm like, holy smokes, we gotta get out there or we ain't gonna ever find this deer. Here, let's go. Well, you guys, we gave this buck overnight, and good thing we did, because had we come back in here last night, we definitely would have jumped him. He was still alive this morning when we came back in here. Dawson had to finish him off, but he was back in here in one of the where we thought he was headed. There's kind of like a known buck bed back here that usually holds, throughout the season, we'll jump a couple bucks out of it, and we've killed a couple bucks out of the same bed, and that's where he went, right into the same spot. Sucks that we had to finish him off. He didn't die last night, but we made it as quick as we could, given what we knew, and we're gonna drag him out of here. He tucked up in here, and probably where he laid all night, but he didn't bleed a whole lot. In the snow, you could tell pretty much everything, so it was even hard tracking in the snow, but we had to get on early this morning, because you guys can see it's coming down right now, and probably about another hour and we wouldn't be able to track him, so we had to get on it and track him this morning. Then we gotta drag him out of here. He's a hardy sucker. This deer's tough as nails. He's already been, Dad shot him once on way back in the swamp in the middle of November. He shot him right in the shoulder, and he disappeared for almost a month, and we seen him once on a property that we don't have permission on, way over, and then the end of December, we got a picture of him, and then he started coming back more and more, and he's a tough son of a gun.
Bye.